An unusually strong surge of U.S. Navy activity this month in the South China Sea shows that Washington is trying to teach China a set of rules for operating in contested waters, official statements and scholars say. The Navy sent 2 ships into the Asian Sea, which is increasingly controlled by China but disputed by 5 other countries, last week after China sent its first domestically produced aircraft carrier into the same waterway for research and testing. Washington wants to show China that it must keep the economically and politically strategic sea open rather than trying to take tracts of it for exclusive use, the U.S. Pacific Fleet and the analysts say, although experts see little threat of armed conflict. The United States is trying now to shape and shift Chinese behavior, and that's really hard, said Stephen Nagy, Senior Associate Politics and International Studies Professor at International Christian University in Tokyo. This comprehensive pressure is a way to start to shift the behavior of the Chinese in a way that doesn't spiral out of control into some kind of conflict, he said. The Chinese aircraft carrier passed through the Taiwan Strait November 17 to conduct research and routine training in the relevant waters of the South China Sea, Beijing's official Xinhua news agency said a day later, citing a People's Liberation Army spokesperson. The carrier caught attention around Asia and in Washington because it's China's second carrier overall and the first it has built on its own. China seldom announces it has sent a carrier to the sea. The U.S. Navy sent its 2 warships to the sea on November 20th and 21st, it said in a statement. It described both missions as freedom of navigation operations, without giving details about what either ship did. The USS Gabrielle Giffords, a littoral combat ship, approached Mischief Reef in the Spratly Islands, the statement said. China has developed and occupied the reef for its own use, including military installations. The second U.S. ship, the USS Wayne E. Meyer, a destroyer, sailed near the Paracel Islands, a chain controlled by China but that control is disputed by Vietnam. The U.S. Navy usually sends 1 ship at a time, with intervals of a month or so. Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam dispute all or parts of China's claims to the 3.5 million square kilometer sea that stretches from Hong Kong south to Borneo. They prize the sea for its fisheries, energy reserves and shipping lanes.